Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We're here with the authors of a new children's book. It's called Good Morning Maine, fittingly. Guys, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, and excuse me, we're joined by Sara Frautten and her granddaughters, Adeline and Lillian. And you guys all worked on this book together, correct?
We did. It started as just kind of like a fun project activity to do at the beginning of the pandemic when all of a sudden, boom, everyone's home and like no one knows what to do for the next couple months.
Right. So what's the book about? I mean, it seems like there's beautiful illustrations about Maine animals.
Yeah, so we started with, do you want to do a book about animals? And so then we decided zoo animals, jungle animals, Maine animals. So we decided to do one about animals from Maine because we were more familiar with them. Something we really, a subject we knew.
Right.
So.
And it's appropriate to Good Morning because they're all kind of waking up. It's about that process, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as inspiration goes, are you guys kind of from an area where you see stuff like this often? Or have you? I haven't seen a moose in a while.
You see deer. What else do you have at your house? Porcupines. Right, porcupines, deer. We would take walks when they'd come over to our house down the street, and we'd go visit a little pond and look for turtles, and there was a beaver lodge.
It's lucky to have a grandmother like you who's around, and able to do stuff like this.
Right, I had just retired from teaching, so it was perfect. I was like, I can help. You know, while they're home for a little bit, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite memory, or is it all kind of, I mean, it's COVID, so it was just kind of, it was learning too, I'm sure.
Yeah, Lily was only 5, so she probably doesn't have
Oh, really?
It's been 3 years.
And you're 8 now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. Wow, what a process. And it's not, whoops, I'm sorry. It's not out quite yet. When's the publishing date?
It should be due out the end of July.
Okay.
Through McSeebooks.com. You can pre-order them now and have them for July, end of July.
I saw that,
Or at any bookstore.
Are you guys doing any signature copies, any autographed copies?
I think there's one scheduled for August with Sherman Books.
Nice.
So that's one thing. We're
a Maine book company as well.
Right, exactly.
That's awesome.
So,
I'm sure you'll inspire some other young authors out there. You guys are impressive.
Hopefully, right?
And you're 10 now, right? Yeah. So it's been, you started it when you were 7 and you were 5. Wow. It's been a long process.
Yeah.
Anything else in the works? Do you want to write another one in the future?
What do you think?
Maybe.
Maybe, yes.
Yeah.
It's a long process.
Yeah.
So the illustrator, she couldn't be with us today, of course, but how closely did you guys work with her?
She was my inspiration from the beginning. She was a great mentor.
Yeah.
I found her, I work in a shop where they carry books, Maine authors particularly, and we had written this book, and I told the girls, I said, you know, I'll type it up and you can have it as like just a little booklet.
Right.
And they said, well, why can't it be a real book that our friends can read?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, well, I'll work on it.
Yeah.
So almost a year later, so it was 2021 that I found Mary Preble, who had books at our store, and she was wonderful. She was like, oh yeah, I can help you. I can illustrate it if you want to. I gave her the manuscript, and so she just took off with it. She was so inspiring and wonderful. And then a year later, she found Stephanie Mulligan.
Of course, who we've had on the show before. She's the publisher.
From McSeebooks.
Yeah, a local lady as well. We love her. Yeah.
So it's all very local. And she read it and said, I'd love to publish it.
Yep. So all we can say is that people should get this for all the holidays and birthdays. Looks like we're about out of time, but Sara, Adeline, Lillian, guys, thank you for joining us this morning.
All right, thank you.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.